Just a second.
Are we live?
And we are live.
Okay. Carolyn's making a face. She's not. She said she's got it. So she's gonna be nosy and find out what I'm talking about over here. Okay. Sorry for the delay. It's 3:07, and on the 8th of August, this is the Ethics Commission meeting, a special meeting of the ethics to deal with a request for advisory opinion that has been submitted by Dale Dodrell. In attendance, we have Gordon Cosley, Dan Culbreth, Fred Fisher is a visitor. We have Chris Gorman and Doug Farnsley. I guess they're still here.
And the mayor's here also, John.
Oh, the mayor. Okay, and the mayor is also present. So we'll call the meeting to order. And I'm gonna just ask the question: has everybody seen Mr. Dodrell's paperwork? His request for advisory opinion?
Yes.
Yes.
Basically, he is complaining that the sign ordinance for the city of Prospect was violated, and that there's a 30-day prohibition on political yard signs, and that there's a total prohibition on banners. And so those are the two main issues. The violation of city ethics because Chris is believed to have gone and done something that would cause political favors for him, which is seen as, he sees it as a violation. We'll deal with both of those a little bit later on. For participation in the city 4th of July celebration and parade. I was not there, so I can't say that I saw any of this. Most of you know I'm dealing with a recent knee replacement, and getting up there and dealing with it is not terribly comfortable. So for the first time in something like 20 years, we did not go. I'm going to go straight to, I'm going to kind of take this as a total one piece because it all fits. I'm going to go straight to the opinion issued by Grover Potts, who is or was the city attorney here in Prospect for around 20 years, I believe, and still does some work relative to the LDG developments around the area in which Prospect is involved. But if we look at the opinion issued by Mr. Potts, he deals with it quite well. It's now Councilman Dodrell asserts that the city of Prospect's attorney, Chris Gorman, and council member Farnsley violated the Prospect ordinances, signs and regulations, and code of ethics. I will just make a note here that the code of ethics ordinance does not deal with political signs, but Mr. Potts has dealt with it anyway quite efficiently. He he notes in here that according, political signs specified are yard signs on real property, and nothing about carried signs in parades. The banner is also defined, and he goes through the definition of banners, and then standards of conduct that set forth the only that no city official shall use or attempt to use his official position to secure unwarranted privileges or advantages for himself or others. He continues, there is no evidence that City Attorney Gorman and/or council member and mayoral candidate Farnsley used their respective positions to secure unwarranted privileges or advantages. City Attorney Gorman and council member and mayoral candidate Farnsley simply brought a banner with mayoral candidate Farnsley's name on it and marched in the Prospect 4th of July parade. Since the inception of the Prospect July 4th parade, politicians at every level have attended the event and to encourage Prospect to vote for them, Prospect residents to vote for them. Candidates have marched in the city parade. And in one case, one picture that Mr. Potts provided, there is a picture of Kelly Downard running for the mayor of Louisville in a yellow fire truck, an antique yellow fire truck with a banner on the side of it in the parade. So there is some photographic evidence and other evidence that people have marched in the parade. John Yarmouth among those, and others show up and campaign. He kind of boils it down and says, I'm of the opinion that City Attorney Gorman and council member and mayoral candidate Farnsley did not violate Chapter 38 Code of Ethics of the City of Prospect by marching in the Prospect July 4th parade while carrying a banner. In addition to the opinions requested and set forth, I'm also of the opinion that the actions of City Attorney Gorman and council member mayoral candidate Farnsley during the parade the 4th of July constitute protected political activity under the First Amendments to the United States Constitution and the Kentucky Constitution, respectively. I'm going to kind of throw this out and see Doug or Chris have comments that they would like to make. I've just sort of yammered on real quickly because I think we all know what the circumstances of this are. Doug or Chris, do you have comments?
I don't have anything. Fred Fisher's here as our counsel. I'll turn this around so he can speak to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. My name's Fred Fisher. I'm an attorney. My office is at 718 West Main Street, Louisville, Kentucky, 40202. I think in the interest of your time, I can state that I concur 100% with the opinion that's been rendered by your counsel. And I think he has articulated exactly what I would be arguing, which is that there's been a misapprehension of the ordinance itself, the sign ordinance, and that there was nothing involved that would, by either of these gentlemen, that would in any manner violate the ethics ordinance of this city. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you all might have of me.
Okay, Fred, let me ask Dan and Gordon if they have any thoughts or would like to make any recommendations at this point or make any suggestions. Enter what you think. Gordon, go ahead.
I agree with Grover and Fred, what Fred has just said, because I've read every line of these statutes and I have to agree with them. There's just no evidence of any wrongdoing.
John, I've also reviewed the codes as it pertains to the city of Prospect. And looking at those specific items in there, I see nothing in the code of ethics, since that's our issue at hand. That presents a problem in this situation. So I understand and agree with Grover's advisory opinion.
Take this any farther.
John, we're not hearing you. We hear you, but just barely.
Really? Okay,
Now
well,
it's better. That's
There we
better.
go.
maybe I need to speak louder. Do we have any recommendations or motions to be made?
Are you speaking generally or just to members of the commission, sir?
Just the member, I think that's just the members of the commission, Dan and Gordon. Says we're the three members.
Have you prepared a motion, John?
I have not prepared a motion at this point because I've learned over the years that sometimes I'm surprised. And this can all be done simply. I am recording it with a digital voice recorder over here. And it is, of course, a public meeting. So I don't know if a motion is appropriate, or should we just as council members suggest, or commission members suggest that Mr. Dodrell's request be denied and he be notified and provided, I will provide him with the attorney's opinion by Mr. Potts. And then the ball is in his court, but I think we can say we're done with it.
I second that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay, so we have agreement from all three commissioners. And with that, thank everybody for their time. And we can go about our way. We can adjourn the meeting. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. And I assume there's a second. If not, I will second it.
Second.
Okay. Thanks, Gordon. And we're done.
Okay.
Thank everybody for their time and patience and in dealing with something which I should say earlier. I did speak with Mr. Dodrell before all of this got too far and tried to get him to withdraw it. I saw it as as something that wasn't to go any farther, but he did not want to withdraw it. He did submit it in writing and signed it, and he has standing in that he's a candidate and a council member, which are some of the requirements of us doing this. So thank you for your time.
We had to follow through.
We had to follow through with it, exactly.
But I think we've been totally thorough. As I said, I've read every line and there's just no
Gordon,
connection.
and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you and I I'll write something up to send to Mr. Dodrell. I will not submit this to city council.
Okay.
There is no requirement that we do so if there is no finding.
Okay.
No finding that deserves follow-up, and we'll leave all the names off of the city council record. So that's all. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Bye,
Thanks,
John.
everybody.
Good job.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Good job.
Talk to you later.
Okay, we are clear.
Thank you, Ron.
We are.
Yeah, we're still on. Thanks, John.